bags in the hole. And if both players aren't throwing better than 3 bags in the hole every single round, then that means that they're a little bit nervous, or there's something else that's causing them. They're not living up to the potential of what we've seen so far this season. So I don't expect blocks here. I don't expect a lot of defense unless somebody goes out to a big lead, or there's an accidental block and one of the two starts to see an opening that they can take advantage of.
Right on cue, clean so far. Pulling the string maybe a little bit on that 3rd bag. Now side by side. Final bag here for the 15-year-old from South Carolina. Takes them all in. And the last bag for Jay Rubin. Whoa, leaks just a little bit left.
Yeah, that's just simply a miss. That's not necessarily anything other than a miss, because I really didn't, there wasn't a block that obstructed it on that last bag. Now, if we do see bags that end up in front of the hole, I would say in every shot except the airmail, I would give the advantage to actually Zack Aiken. I think he's got a better cut bag. He certainly has a better roll bag. Now the airmail, look, Jay Rubin's made a career off an airmail, right? There's no way I'm gonna bet against him in that regard. But these two, at least sliding bags, pretty darn even.
Air Rubin, right? Veteran of the ACL. 7 career titles, 18th on the all-time wins list. Doubles World Championship back in 2022. Out of Lake in the Hills, Illinois.
There's a double 4-bagger. I can promise you that won't be the first or second or third or fourth of the ones we're going to see here today. So that's going to be one of many double 4-baggers we'll see in this particular matchup.
So back in the day when you and I first started doing this together, we were just talking about this. We'd see 20, 30 bags in a row. Are you saying we might see something like that?
I think you really could see a long streak in this game. I mean, I'll put it this way. I'm one of my favorite statistics I got from the weekend. Shout out one of our great talent members on our team that does our live streams, Jake Brandon. Jake Brandon called a game between Jacob Trzynski, who we're going to see in doubles later, against Jay Rubin. Okay, Jacob Trzynski threw 46 bags in a row in the hole and only scored 6 points.
Amazing, right?
Right? So it's not only that he can be that good, it's that even when you're that good, Jay trying to keep up with you just says, fine, you can throw 46 in a row. Guess who won the game? Jay Rubin, 21-8. Right? I mean, it was a dominating victory, even though someone in the middle threw a lot of bags. So Jay Rubin is not afraid to get into long marathons with people, and he actually views it as an advantage because he thinks he has the mental ability to navigate that. Now, if there's any downside when you're throwing against Zack Aiken in this regard, Zack Aiken was on this court yesterday in some teams play. Didn't have his best performance. The more experience you gain in these type of moments, the better off you get. So, as the game gets longer, chalk that up to more and more rounds of experience for Aiken, allowing him to get more and more comfortable. And this is the first opportunity we're going to have to see him do something other than a pretty basic slide.
Rolls on top.
Pretty good. And how aggressive is Rubin? This is layup for a wash or airmail backside for 2. His decision.
Clips the pile and puts 2 of Aiken's bags in.
That's worst case scenario. That's all of a sudden a 5 spot when you were possibly looking at 2, a 7-point swing right in that one round. You know, the question is, was Aiken happy with that bag sitting on top? Was that kind of baiting Jay Rubin into an airmail, or was that just a, hey, I missed my roll, but it worked out perfectly for Aiken?
7-0 lead. Well, talking with Aiken before the broadcast, he really prides himself on being able to play both styles. He said, I'm really comfortable with both. I will do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, I think yesterday I talked about him being an offensive player that has a defensive skill set, right? He's going to say, I'm going to slide every bag in the hole. But if there's a bag that ends up sitting in front or in the way of play of sliding, I don't care. I'll be able to roll it. I'll be able to do whatever I need to. As we see here, points per round. Zack Aiken throwing pretty well, I would say.
Yep. Yeah, that'll work. Air Rubin now going in front. 21 straight in the hole, now making 22 for Zack Aiken. Third bag, a little bit off to the left. Will he be able to bring it back? His last bag of the round. Oh, and the pile really wants to fall. What's Jay going to do here?
Ooh, this is a really tough decision because sliding all the way through it is tough. You might get kicked left or right, but I think laying up, they all go.
Nope. Just taps the board. He goes off the back, and that's going to be 24 straight bags in for Zack Aiken.
10-0, and Aiken still remains perfect.
Thought they were too.
Zack Aiken, when he lost in a team's matchup yesterday, we ended about 10:30 local time. We looked around, the entire venue was empty. And after Zack Aiken had a poor performance, we heard the sound of bags. We looked over in the very corner of the facility. There was one person throwing bags by themselves on an open board with nobody around. Who was that? Zack Aiken, punishing himself for his poor performance, and has now come out and thrown 24 straight.
Last bag of the round for Aiken, just sneaks in 28 in a row. Nice cleanup shot there for Jay Rubin, so a wash this round, 28 in a row.
I saw a little bit of an exchange there. It was very
I thought that was a possibility too.
casual. Interesting. A lot of times when they're this serious, right, unless there's like literally smack talk, which I wouldn't necessarily expect between these two, pleasantries doesn't happen a lot in this type of intense situation, but there was a little bit of an exchange there, and Zack Aiken actually initiated it.
Again, a little short right so far. Zack has been able to bring everything back in. Rubin goes in behind him. Pushes Aiken even closer into the red zone.
Rubin just trying to go through it. Oh,
and pushes that top bag maybe too deep. Zack get both these in. He does. Are you kidding me?
It's 32 straight, and now Jay Rubin is in a really tough spot. Slide in just to give up 4 feels like the right move. We went airmail to drag, but it's going to be 4 points, and there's nobody in this building that needs immediate timeout right now more than Jay Rubin.
Wow. Zack Aiken, 32 bags in a row and a 14-0 lead. I was going to ask how many takes it took.
Honestly, it was pretty good. It was not many takes.
All right, back to action here and some serious drama. Zack Aiken there on the right. 32 for 32. Can he continue it here after the timeout? A perfect PPR and a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, 100% 4-baggers. I don't know how else I can describe it.
Rubin is off to the right. Aiken, another one.
Brings that one a little bit closer, just trying to nudge it.
About a third of the way in, and now all of them drop. Good save there for Rubin. Yeah, he says, I'll take it. That one right down the middle to make it 36 in a row. And Rubin with the wash. All right, so Jay Rubin down 14-0, and instantly in the timeout, you and I were thinking about that 2022 World Championship. Not only did he win that 2022 World Championship, he and Jordan Power were down 20-2 against Mark Richards and Philip Lopez. Came all the way back to win it. So
you're saying he's been here before?
Maybe not done yet.
And
although not playing against someone who's hit 36 straight, probably.
Now, this might be the first opportunity for Rubin that he's had. I'm getting close to saying that bag is out of play and the perfect game may be over. And based on where Zack Aiken is throwing from, he is going to be happy with just taking a 10 here.
Oh, he was trying to spin it, see if he could bring it back in. But yeah, I think you're right. It's too far gone.
Yeah, he's not going to go after it. So that is going to end it. It's going to end in 9 straight 4-baggers to start, and Zack Aiken is going to throw a 10, and now Jay Rubin is on the board.
There we go.
So now, a couple factors that play into it. Aiken no longer has first bag, okay, and he's officially given up points. So those two things play into my head. Does Jay Rubin do anything different now that he has first bag? And does Zack Aiken, is he able to combat the tendency to let it snowball or let it pile up, right? Because right now, statistically, throwing 39 out of 40 bags in the hole, right?
Yeah.
So but the last thing that he threw was a miss.
I think this is a huge round for him, just to see where he's at mentally.
So far, so good. Maybe Jay Rubin can go hard at this and collect his and get this to move. Missed it off to the right, though, and he's frustrated about it.
Now Aiken with 2 bags left. He's got a chance to bring this one back in. Able to knock the one in, but that one off to the left.
Him stepping out tells me he wants this bag on an airmail.
Yeah, he's going for it up top, and it flops over the hole. And now Aiken with a chance to get 2 more right back, and he does. I mean, do you like Jay being that aggressive? There wasn't a whole lot in the hole. I mean, I get it, you're right. You know, he can hit those, but do you want to do that right here?
I think I'm conflicted in my head because I think I've settled on that I do like the decision. You are, if you take a big picture look at it, you are down 14-2 to a guy that's thrown 39 out of 40 bags in the hole, right? I mean, when you look at it from that perspective, you have to start doing something. Now, was there logic in maybe that you had a little baby bit of momentum that you could maybe outrun bags and just see what happens? Maybe, but it's not as if Zack Aiken is all of a sudden starting to fall off the wagon, and you've seen consistently that throwing bags in the hole he's not going to be able to keep up.
Well, after the perfect streak ended, I really thought that next round was going to be big. And what does he do? Gets 2 points.
Yep.
Yeah. Spins that one in. And Rubens spins too deep, so Aiken, the 15-year-old from South Carolina, has still missed only 1 bag and a 16-point lead.
Now, what's going to be interesting is here, we've seen the way that Zack Aiken has been able to approach this game. As Jamie Graham prepares to be in the finals against Zack Aiken, he's got to think to himself, I'm not going to let him just throw every bag in the hole. I can tell you that right now. Now, there's an added, element to this in that in the next game that we're going to show is going to be the junior doubles final, which is also what Zack Aiken is competing in. So now, if this result holds here, we're going to see Zack Aiken for 3 straight games. So then there's also maybe an element of stamina that is going to have to come into play as Aiken prepares for the finals, again, assuming that this result stands.
Tried to clip it, bring it in, couldn't do it, but Rubin helps him out, sinks them both. Well, I get what you're saying about stamina, but, Trey, really, with these kids, you let them throw all day, and they will. I mean, the only reason they go home is because Cat turns off the lights. Otherwise, they'd stay here all night.
You make a good point, and I'm not necessarily talking about physical stamina. I'm talking about mental stamina.
Yep.
There's a mental aspect of sitting here and throwing 39 out of 40 bags in the hole, which he did to start this game, right? statistically, everything that tells you if you're going to throw 39 out of 40 when your season-long PPR is a 10.38, okay? But right now you're throwing an 11.8. Statistics are going to bring you back to the mean of where you normally are. So that's the only thing I'm worried about as we go into the second game and the third game. At some point, something's got to give. Or we just see one of the most historical runs that we've ever seen by somebody. Both can be true and both are possible. And, I mean, that is absurd.
Look at the crowd and behind him. They know exactly what he's doing right now. Good shot by Jay Rubin. It'll stay 18-2. Aiken again with the honors. Flips the first one in. Again, if you're just tuning in, Jamie Graham, a winner in our first matchup over Colby Shear. Had to hold off a late charge by Colby, but hung on to win it and advance into the finals.
These guys just contend, and that's you know, if there's one downside to where you are right now for Rubin, but there's a little bit of an opportunity here. You got to take advantage of this. And
thinking stuck.
He does. Yes, it doesn't look like it's moving, and the official has given the 2-point sign, so that's good to go. Yeah, if there's anything here, intentionally, Jay Rubin is not a big blocker, right? And that's what I would normally do in this situation when you're playing against someone like a Zack Aiken. So again, four-bagger percentage. I mean, look, Jay Rubin's statistical four-bagger percentage for the season, he's like first in the entire league at like 52%, and right now throwing 60. He's throwing better than he normally does. The problem is you're going against someone that's thrown 80% four-baggers.
Almost a perfect game here for Zack Aiken.
Ooh, okay.
Block.
Now this is interesting because of the gap in between here. This is not a simple push through for Aiken. I like Rubin playing aggressive, making Aiken go around it and then clean it up on the last bag.
Aiken just jumps over it.
Love that bag. That's what I expected there. He's so good at that shot.
Rubin cannot have one go off the backside of the board.
Yeah, this is a big push. If he misses this, it could be 5 points, and then everything tenses up a little bit.
Oh, pushes right through, up and in. I mean, he's doing everything.
I would argue, and this sounds ridiculous to say out loud, that push was almost more impressive than the big run to start the game. And the reason for it is it's so easy to lose focus. He hasn't had to throw a push like that all game long. In the first 15 rounds, he didn't have to do anything like that. And he stayed stick side, and it was a long push. And you feel like odds again are against you to be able to hit that shot, and he still did it to maintain this massive lead. I couldn't be more impressed with that last shot.
And look at this, Aiken laying a block again and telling Rubin, all right, do it again. Rolls in now 2, right there in front of the red zone. And Jay's just gonna block in behind.
Slow side on the bag tells me another roll coming here for Aiken, and he does hit it. What does Rubin do here? Is he going to go backside airmail here? He stepped down a little bit to get a better angle.
He's got some height going for that backside, knocks it in.
Wow, that is a big airmail here and does put a little bit of pressure on Aiken. You hear the officials say 60-second timeout. Options here. You could hit here to try to roll. That's option 1. Option 2 is just throw an airmail, see what happens. A very aggressive, land here. See if you can kind of rodeo these bags in. Those are the 3 main options I see.
Chunks one in as the one in his hand flies off the back. He says, that's all right, I'm all right with it. But look at this, 18-9 now.
Watch this again for Rubin, backside, clean, doesn't get that bag. You saw it was elevated to move, he needed that. And even more important was that push in the previous round by Aiken, because that was another 5-point possible swing. We could be talking about 18-14, and now it's a completely different game if it's 18-14 if Aiken doesn't hit that big push.
That's the big thing about these huge comebacks by Jay Rubin. When he was down 20-2, couldn't have a mistake, right? Not even one. And a similar situation here.
Uh-oh. Now we're starting to get interesting. That's the first glaring miss that we've seen from Aiken, to where from the get-go, you know it's not coming back in.
Jay has got to stay pretty much perfect the rest of the way. And he's going to get 4 more as that bag misses. And all of a sudden, Aiken in a little bit of trouble. It's a 5-point game.
And again, I go back to that push. I keep bringing it up, but it could be tied right now if he doesn't hit that push. But now the momentum has completely flipped with 11 straight points now for Jay Rubin.
That one just grabs the left side.
And the crowd, something just changed in the crowd. They could feel it.
I was thinking to myself just moments ago, I've never seen a building so tense when the score was 18-4. And now look at it, 18-13. It's like everyone could just feel what was coming.
That's a beautiful block. Trying to set himself up. But Jay Rubin, I'm actually seeing him speed up his pace a little bit, trying to get a little bit more rhythmic. Not thinking as much about each bag, just trying to let the bag do the work. So far, so good on this little run here.
Last bag is in a wash. It'll stay a 5-point game. If you're just tuning in, this game was dominated by the 15-year-old Zack Aiken. Hit 36 straight. Had a 14-0 lead at the timeout. Now all of a sudden, an 11-0 run by Jay Rubin.
Every bag means so much because, again, we feel like Jay Rubin has this momentum. But again, if you're having the mentality for Zack Aiken, it's, I'm just playing the odds game again. I had such a big lead. Jay Rubin is going to miss at some point.
Yeah, he can't make a mistake. So much pressure on these last bags, but just speeds that one in. And Aiken able to respond. 12 straight to the hole for Jay Rubin.
Thank you.
And again, this almost feels like the beginning of this game reverse, right? Aiken, even over the past few rounds, hasn't thrown poorly, but Jay Rubin just been automatic at this point.
On to our 21st round of play. I'm trying to see if I physically see anything different. I'm actually not seeing a lot of nerves out of Aiken. Are you?
No, and I think, honestly, over the past couple of rounds, giving him the opportunity to get back into a rhythm has kind of helped calm those nerves. He might have been a little bit nervous, giving up the couple different 4 spots, but he's recovered. I mean, when you're able to throw blocks like that, you're really dialed in still.
16 straight in the hole for Jay Rubin. And Aiken with the answer. Now both players, like you just said, Trey, on a roll. That's 12 straight now, again for Aiken.
And I think Aiken has recognized that the fact that, okay, if I can just continue to run bags again, Rubin's gotta miss again.
Wow, I was wondering, Trey, there, in those rounds, if it was a mistake by Aiken. He kept laying blocks with an 18-4 lead.
Yeah, and again, sometimes if a bag comes short, it may not be a block, right? It may just be, hey, I didn't throw it far enough, right? Nothing wrong with that. That felt more intentional right there, though. Because there's a gap in between the hole and the bag there. Love the side-by-side there. Makes it a little bit more difficult for Aiken. Just don't want to end up off to the right.
Rolls it in. Beautiful bag.
Rubin staying slow side. Just walks up in here.
Everything up.
Can Aiken go in here. Airmail would be super aggressive. Technically, if you airmail drag, you could win it.
Roll it in for 2, and that's exactly what he does. Perfect execution by Zack Aiken, and now 1 point away from the win.
He had to throw that so much higher to get the extra pop off the board in order for it to climb the mountain. Such a high-level rollback, right? Way up in the air, it matches the plane of the board, and because he threw it higher, it had more of that bouncing effect in order to get up and over. What a shot. And now this becomes a 4-bagger, wins it, and actually even a 10 will win it. You don't even need to take this bag in.
Yep, just goes right past it. Rubin puts it in his way, little lane side short block.
Oh, but he gave.
Right.
Now you're not out of the woods yet for Rubin. You do have to collect your bag on the left-hand side without taking Aiken. Does bring Aiken a little bit closer now. You're okay, but Aiken, he could collect that bag and the bag in his hand essentially for the win.
And it is gonna just miss, goes in, but can't take that one that he needed.
Pretty straightforward here. J. Rubin has to go in the hole without this black bag. If that black bag goes in the hole, it's over.
Definitely
if Rubin ends up on the board without not going in, it's over. He has to be in the hole without the black bag hanging.
Here, but it's going to be makes it. He makes it. Keep on fighting.
You can hear Aiken saying some words of confidence. Hey, if he makes it, he makes it. But this is it. All comes down to this. Rubin's got to be in. If he does, he'll get a point.
Down 18-4 on a comeback, trying to stay alive.
Come on!
And he's able to hit it clean, and the other bag doesn't go. Oh, J. Rubin stays alive.
What confidence to actually go with an airmail. You thought maybe he tried to slide around it, but he trusts his airmail more than anything. He knew he had to go backside with it, and that is Air Rubin.
And basically throws it through half a window.
Half a hole he had to throw it in. And now, based on the score, he's going to have first bag the rest of this game, no matter what. Obviously, in order to get first bag, you have to score, and if Zack Aiken scores, it's over. So Rubin will have the first bag the remainder of this game.
No mistakes allowed anymore here for J. Rubin at all. We're going to say this a lot, but every bag needs to be in. That one just falls back. Aiken to maintain the 6-point lead, and that one just sneaks in.
Both of those fourth bags, Rubin's just barely caught the back of the hole. And then Aiken's just barely got over the front lip.
Why you had to do that to me?
So we enter into round 25. And the players each now approaching throwing 100 bags here in this game.
Beautiful level 1 block. A small lane on the left side available for Aiken. He may just decide to go through this though. No lane behind. That's bullyable. My favorite adjective. He could go here and knock this bag out of the way. Oh, but he came too much across. This becomes a 4-bagger, wins it. Because this is collectible.
And Aiken pushes his bag in for the collect, leaves Rubin out to the left. I mean, Jay's really good at saving bags. Can he do it again?
He's not going to be able to save that one, Jeff. It's opposite lane side. Nothing he can do. If Aiken puts both of these bags in, he wins. But he misses off to the left and gives it right back. It might still be collectible, though. Rubin just needs to focus on going in, and then the question mark will come down to Aiken. It's in. Does Aiken decide to step out and maybe collect this bag? If he does, he wins it.
He is stepping out. It's on the way, and he leaves it off to the left. So instead of Aiken winning it potentially, it's now a 4-point game.
The only criticism I can maybe take of that shot is that Zack Aiken stuck with the slow side of the bag, and you saw that it didn't have enough juice to go in. If he had flipped it over onto the fast side of the bag, would it had enough to get all the way up and in? And if Rubin comes back, I promise you, Jeff, that will be a decision that Zack Aiken will think about.
We saw the bags in. Each player now has thrown exactly 100 bags. What an epic matchup here in our semifinal. The winner will take on Jamie Graham for the championship. Both bags now playable again.
Oh, again, this is going to be an interesting. You're stepping out, you're risking. You can't miss left, though. If you're going to step out, you got to go in. Double clutch.
Sneak it in, he does. Great touch by Rubin.
Okay, if you go for this push, you can't be off the board or Rubin wins. But he collects it. Kid is unbelievable right now. I mean, just when you think the adversity should mount and snowball, right? He just bounces back and makes a big shot to keep himself in front.
I'm just blown away that we are at the point where Aiken could actually lose it.
Right.
It was 18-4. 14-0 at the timeout. Unreal pressure here in the second major of the year.
Oh, and that's going to make it interesting.
Right away, Rubin off to the right, but still about a third of the bag playable.
He may have to go after that.
Aiken helps him out a little bit.
He does, actually, and now Rubin he's going to take a timeout. He may.
All right, see, the big thing, Trey, just one bag left, right?
Right,
Yeah,
one bag for each player.
left for Rubin here.
I think a step out works. I think if you just change your lane from here, you take a little bit of a step out, you change it to here, you can attack that bag. I think it goes. With that much movement on the last bag, I think you can trust it. If he doesn't want to take the risk whatsoever and he just wants to play an airmail, he could do that too. I just think an airmail's a little bit lower percentage.
Last bag of the round. And they stick on the right side, so now Aiken takes a quick look.
Yeah, Aiken just, if he can find a way to get a bag in without taking either of Jay's, he can win the game.
Got another 60-second timeout.
But Jay's look like they're going to drop, don't they?
I think so. You know what, Jeff? It wouldn't surprise me if he just lays on the board and just says, I'll take the wash.
Yeah.
Not mess around with anything. But stepping out tells me probably not. I don't know what you do here. You could slide in, sneak in for the win.
Oh, look at those bags. They wanted to drop, but they're not going to. So kind of like you just said, it's just on the board. Everything stays a wash, and we move on to the next round in a 4-point game.
Yeah, he was kind of maybe trying to hop in that little hole
Yeah.
so he could sneak in. It was a little bit risky.
But he knew either way it was going to stay on the board. So round 28. Again, well over 100 bags thrown down by both players. And Jay Rubin, veteran ACL Pro, 7 career titles, former world champion, taking on one of the young great players, Zack Aiken.
Oh, again.
Just can't get it up there enough.
You can bully this. You can push this out of the way. You got to go hard at it, though. You didn't really touch it, so this is, again, still collectible. In for a wash if you get both. You just can't be off the board.
And he's off to the right. He's going to give up 4 points, and we're tied at 20.
You cannot be serious.
From 18 to 4. All the way back, now tied at 20. And corn nuts crunch time. Next point wins.
I tell you what, Jeff, no matter what happens, one of the best games I've ever called right here.
Just talking about it, in 2022, Jay Rubin and his partner down 20-2 came all the way back to win the World Championship. Down 18-4 here. Can he do it again to get to the finals?
Neither player can afford a miss. That is short. Now, does Jay Rubin take a chance on an airmail? He does have an extra bag in the hole. Maybe he blocks right behind it. Oh, and he's off to the backside.
Oh, spins around the lip and goes too deep. And now
Zach,
Aiken
stay there.
pulls his bag closer. It's in play.
Stay there. One
What
time.
a shot. Now Rubin's got a couple options. He could just slide in and take everything. He could try to go backside. Wouldn't surprise me if he actually just tries to block here and force a big shot from Aiken.
And Rubin goes for the airmail. Can't get the drag.
And Zack Aiken tapped his wrist. He's confident in this shot. You better make it if you do that. Slide in and get both bags for the win.
For the win, it
Come
is
on,
good. Zack Aiken
One time, Zach. Come on.
holds off an incredible comeback by Jay Rubin and advances into the finals.
Wow. What a performance in a battle in one of the all-time great games. I can already say that. Just insanity.
It will be Zack Aiken, the 15-year-old, into the championship against Jamie Graham. Wow.